So we saw that the mechanism in Ashtadhyayi is take a word, base, add something to it, a suffix, and apply some rules and so on. So such a methodology would be very similar to a lot of computational concepts. So let us see what kind of computational concepts that we find in Ashtadhyayi, which Panini ought to have used some 2800 years back. We will quickly see some of them. Basically, a computer language is a formal language with its own vocabulary and syntax for representing knowledge precisely, right? If you do a Python language, there is a syntax for commands and you should use it, and it has only a set of vocabulary which you have to use. So in the same way, any computer language will be like that, right? So instructions are given in the form of an algorithm or a program. That's what we do. Actually, Panini's grammar shares many of these characteristics. That's the interesting part. As we would have written a program to generate something today, the very similar ideas are found in Panini's grammar, because that's how the whole Sanskrit language is sort of put together. So the Paninian approach to linguistics and Sanskrit grammar has some features which map to certain computational concepts. So let me list down some of them. First of all, he uses exclusive syntax for Ashtadhyayi. There are certain conventions which he states upfront in Ashtadhyayi, and you have to use them. Only then Ashtadhyayi makes sense. There is a vocabulary exclusively meant for his work. There is something called tip, there is something called mat, and all that. All of them mean something. Abbreviated forms, mnemonics, for brevity and better retention of ideas is another aspect which is used in Ashtadhyayi. And we saw it takes an algorithmic approach to word generation. So it will be strictly algorithmic in a way. And in that process, sometimes it uses recursive logic. So all these are part of Paninian scheme of things. So these aspects, if you think through, make Sanskrit very easily amenable for machine coding and current day applications such as natural language processing, because these features are good news. The more these features are in a language, the greater are the possibility that one can use the language structure and syntax and so on, and the grammatical foundations for natural language processing, and on which I think Sanskrit offers a very attractive option because it has all these features. So what we will do now is we will take each of these computational elements and look at them in a little more detail to understand how Panini has deployed them in his whole idea of constructing the Sanskrit language components and the language derivation and so on, which is what we will do in the following sections.